Good morning, Patriots. How are you today? I know you don't like my flag, and I don't care. Don't like my flag? Get rid of the communist president we have, and I'll take it down. I'll be glad to put up a new flag. Hope you got a good steaming hot cup of coffee. That's my protest flag. That's what that is. If you don't like it, shove it somewhere. Don't really care. As you're jumping on, say hi where you're watching from. This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It's approximately 8:34 a.m. on 11/3/2021. I've replaced my itty-bitty computer screen with one ginormous TV screen, and I'm still getting used to it. It's huge. It's like, wow. But anyways, I can actually see it because I'm blind. But hope you're having a great day. Check this out. If you're watching on Facebook, do me a favor right now, share this thing. If you can't find a share, drop out of the live feed, and it'll come up on your right there, on your Facebook thing, and share it from there. And if you can't share it that way, wait till it's over, go to my personal page, Mike Cook, and share it from there. Okay, I'd really appreciate it, because I'll tell you right now, Facebook, like I said, they're taking the share button down. They're changing settings on my Facebook profile. They're doing all kinds of things. It's amazing. And then the algorithms are fighting me because, I talk about things that they don't like. I talk about things that they profess are false, only to apologize them for later. Like, hydrochloroquine and stuff like that. So, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the little thumbs up button, drop out of the chat and hit the little thumbs button. But let me know you're watching out there, and I try to get over to YouTube once in a while and say hi and all that stuff. But also, when I do my questions and answer days, which I may do one in the near future, I don't know, I can see with my app both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So, and they're both live. YouTube and Facebook, I'm live right now, so you can chat on either one of them. So I see everybody jumping on, saying hi as I jump over, and I appreciate everybody jumping on. So anyways, so we're going to talk about today. I totally changed direction with where I was going to go with this today, because some stuff I found this morning that just, yes, we're going to talk about the preverts today. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, as you're jumping on, say I appreciate it. Check it out. Follow me on Rumble. Rumble's the place to be as far as video stream. Well, video streaming. I can't go live there yet. Hopefully one day they'll make it so I can go live, but not now. I am live on YouTube. You can catch me on the YouTubes right here. It says 61 subscribers. Let me tell you, you guys are doing phenomenal. I'm up to like 2,500 subscribers on both Rumble and YouTube. I think Rumble has surpassed YouTube now. And also, I'm putting all of my stuff, as I'm doing my research and I'm reading stuff and find stuff that's interesting me, I post those links onto my Telegraph account. And this is it right here. If you search Patriot Mike Thoughts or Patriot Mike Channel, you should be able to find it. But that's the direct link. T.me/Patriot Mike Thoughts is the direct link to my Telegraph channel. And it has chat in there too, so there's discussion. And there's only one moderator, so if it starts getting crazy, I might have to add some moderators to kick off the knuckleheads. But, we'll see what happens. And that has grown from nothing to just under 300 subscribers in just a few days, because it's only been up a few days. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate it. Really do. So might even have acquired a sponsor or two. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to work on that. That'll be fun. I kind of look forward to just doing a couple of commercials just for the fun of it. But anyways, moving right along to start the show. I don't know if any of you have seen this on my Facebook page. It says Mexican word of the day, body wash. Biden was on TV, but nobody washed him. That one just gets me. Makes me want to just giggle. You're going to need to giggle after today's show, I'm telling you. That's why I'm starting with the light stuff. I'm trying to, cleanse your palate a little bit. So the Babylon Bee had this on here. It said, there are 7 telltale signs that your newborn baby is a racist. Let's get into this one. This is going to be fun. So newborn baby's a racist. Have you or a loved one had a baby recently? We hate to say this, but you may have just brought a white supremacist into the world. Don't worry, though. We're here to help. It's important to always look for clues of racist tendencies in newborns. So in your newborn, so you can nip that in the bud. here's the troubling 7 telltale signs. He's white, which automatically makes him a racist. If your newborn is white, then sorry, it's game over. No baby will be irredeemably, your baby will be irredeemably racist forever. Sad. Completely illiterate, just like most Nazis. What your newborn can't read? Then he's probably been radicalized by alt-right personalities on YouTube. Like me. No hair, which is common neo-Nazi hairstyle, is your baby's skinhead. Having no hair is a colossal red flag. If your newborn is bald, make him wear a wig until his hair grows in. Enjoys bedtime stories written by the notorious racist Dr. Seuss. Books by Dr. Seuss are a gateway drug to literally burning crosses in people's front yards. Teach your child to burn those books instead. Shows his white fragility by crying all the time. Crying is a sure sign of defensiveness. Boy, that's a big word. My uneducated right wing can't handle it. And fear of honest conversations around race, not good. Refuses to say Black Lives Matters. Seriously, what's so hard about saying Black Lives Matters? If instead he says things like goo goo gaga, this is even more troubling. Phrases like goo goo gaga are 10 letters in it. And you know what else has 10 letters in it? Heil Hitler. Shows color blindness by playing with other kids regardless of race. Color blindness is racist. Minorities need their own separate spaces without white invaders. Decolonize your playtime, mom and dad. If you remain vigilant, you may play a part in preventing another baby from becoming racist. Unless he's white, of course. He's white. What about him, her? Sexist wrote this article. Now, that's the end of the fun. Because at this point, let me take a drink here. At this point, if you have children in the room and you don't want them hearing some adult conversations about preverts, I was going to play the Dr. Strangelove prevert conversation, but I didn't get time to load it. Then that's where that word comes from, by the way, preverts. If you don't want your children hearing about preverts, then you need to turn me off or something, or move the children to the other room. Giving you a few seconds while I take a sip of coffee to do that before we go on. All right, now that was satire. We just did satire. Satire's funny. Satire, good satire, always has a little bit of truth to it. This is not satire. This is real. Hope all your little crumb crunchers are out of the room. Women's voices. The narrative is that transgender people will come into bathrooms and abuse little girls. The supposed purity of the victims has remained stagnant. There are no princesses. Little girls are also kinky, and your children aren't straight and narrow as you think. And this is a Luke Vade Minion, whatever this dude's name is. Now, let me tell you what the pervert who just said this looks like. This is that pervert right here. That's that pervert who said that your little girl isn't pure and is kinky. This little sick bastard right here who, this dude is sick. This dude right here is Sodom and Gomorrah sick. What he needs is Jesus. That's what or ventilated, one or the other. He's a trans activist and writer. And he wants to go into the bathroom with your daughter and prove that she's kinky. I got news for him. I got a 13-year-old daughter still at home. My other two are grown. I've got beautiful little granddaughters. If this pervert wants to go in the bathroom with any one of them, he will be ventilated. I'm just saying. I'll introduce him to a new concept. At least in Missouri, we're still free. He'd all bought my favorite auctioneer, Johnson Auctioneers, not Bay anymore. He's going to get mad at me for that. Dyslexic people get stuff set in their mind and they can't get it out. Johnson Auctioneers. Sorry, Rusty. He has gender neutral bathrooms that he, it's part of a little trailer he brings out to the auction site. He says it's one less decision you have to make. These freaking preverts. I can't believe this guy is going to sit here and tell me, no. You see, don't understand. I want my daughter to be pure. I want her not to have 13 years old. I want her not. That's why she goes to a Lutheran school. I don't want her to have to think about those things. Not yet. Let her be a child for as long as possible. Why make them grow up early when they don't have to? Back in the day, 1,000 years ago, 13 years old, they were getting married off. You could trade a camel 6 goats for them or something. But that isn't today. Let them be kids. Let them enjoy childhood. Why we got to sexualize everybody? You got politicians right now in Congress wanting to teach sexual education in kindergarten. Why? These kids barely know in kindergarten, they barely know they even exist at this point. I mean, they're just discovering what bologna and cheese is and peanut butter sandwiches. Why we got to be so sick? Just as the days of Noah. But wait, there's more to this story. That's right. It gets worse because transgendered surgery is now free for military thanks to Biden executive order. Oh, wonderful. So now we can get cutadecophamies and addictomies in the military. It's great. Taxpayers will now foot the bill for gender reassignment surgery for active military personnel and veterans. So I use the VA system. I did not retire from the military. I only did 4 years, but I did 4 years and I served in combat in the first Gulf War. So I get to use the VA system. That's the way it works. When you sign the dotted line, they say this is one of the benefits. Cool. So I get to use the VA system. I get my medical care. They take care of it. Now, I wasn't using the VA system until Obamacare came along and told me my insurance was illegal, but I can't get Obamacare through Obamacare because I'm self-employed and I don't show enough income. But if I show more income, then you tax more. So there's like, whoa, catch-22. Isn't it wonderful? So I lost my health care. Had no health care for like 3 years. Then VA came along and said, hey, dummy, sign up. So I did. But in that health care, I don't get dental. I just get basic health care. But I guess now I can get a cutadecophamy. Paid for $200,000 surgery. Paid for by you, the taxpayers. Well, why don't we not do that? Why don't we take the veterans who are serving and in the VA system and give them their eyeglasses and their dental, which is probably more important than a cutadecophamy? Let me get back to the story. Hey, don't put the frowny faces when you're watching this video because that lowers my spread. I appreciate it though. I know some of this pisses you off. Just write it in the comments, okay? I get it. I do. Don't put the frowny face. I appreciate it. With the treatments costing upward of $200,000 under executive order signed by President Biden, tucked inside Biden's January 25th transgender order, enabling all qualified Americans who serve their country in uniform, is a clause that repeals the Obama-era policy that prohibited federal funding reassignment surgery. This was followed by memos from both Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and Veterans Affairs Secretary Dennis McDonough, how you say it, specially stating that surgery is now an added benefit. Can't get glasses, but I can get a cutadecophamy. This revised policy will also ensure that medically necessary I don't think any of that's medically necessary. Transition-related care authorized by law is available to all service members, Austin wrote. In a VA email to employees, McDonough echoed, perform an assessment of the necessary steps to eliminate the exclusion of gender alteration, gender affirmative surgery. That's what they can call it. I prefer cut a dick off of me or add a dick to me because that's what it is. A medical benefits package. So we're going to waste money in reassignment surgeries for preverts like this guy so they can dress up in the military. Maybe we ought to do it. Back Rush Limbaugh had a parody back in the 90s about having pink camouflage. Gosh, I ought to look that up, see if I can find it. Maybe we ought to just do it. Just do pink camouflage and all this other stuff. This is utterly ridiculous. The military is not a social welfare program. It's not an international Meals on Wheels. It's not a diverse network of people learning how to do all your social experimentation that you want to do. No, the military has one purpose and one purpose only. Actually, two. To kill people and break things. That's it. That's the only thing that our government is mandated in the Constitution to do, is have a military to defend our country. And that's a stretch to even have a military. But they are to defend our country. Kill people and break things. Well, now we're going to have a bunch of preverts running around in our military, and who knows what's going to come from that. But then again, these United States, the United States, maybe something's bound to happen. Mark Twain said this: truth is stranger than fiction. But it's because fiction is obligated to stick to the possibility, and truth isn't. Man, are we there right now? What is true and what is lies? What is information? What is disinformation? What is going on? It's crazy that's happening right now. But wait, there's more. You want to hear more? You want me to really piss you off? Let's go down this road. This is another article. I hit this one this morning. This is in Slate magazine. I don't want my wife to become a stay-at-home mom. Before the baby, she was ambitious. What happened? First of all, you're an asshole. The guy that wrote this article. Just move it. Just had to say it. Sorry. Just had to say it. Moving right along. Dear Care and Feeding. I'm a new father of a beautiful 10-month-old girl. My wife's company has a gracious maternity leave policy. She has been at home with our daughter since birth and is scheduled to go back to work just after the first birthday in January. She recently told me she doesn't want to go back to her job and would like to be a stay-at-home parent instead. That would be a stay-at-home mom, by the way. Gender neutral. I asked her why. She said she enjoys being a mother too much to leave her daughter and go back to work when she doesn't need to. This is such a departure from our plans. This is such a departure, remember that, from our plans, selfish, before the baby was born. She has a good job that she enjoyed before going on leave and had always been adamant that she wanted to continue working even after becoming a mom. We met when we worked at the same company many years ago. And one of the things I was most attracted to was her ambition and tenacity. It really surprised to hear that her career isn't that important to her anymore. Honestly, I don't want her to quit her job. She earns about the same as I do. That's important, isn't it? That she earns about the same as you do because you like your toys. And while we could make ends meet on my income alone, it would impact our ability to save. We need to give up one of our cars. And I mean, the social status of that is just terrible. And cut back on the extras that make life more fun, like our trips to Cancun and Jamaica and all that other stuff. I also just don't want a stay-at-home wife. Isn't that special? I really admire my wife from her work ethic, Isn't that also special? I want her to set a good example for her daughters, too. Seeing her give up like this is really disappointing. I don't think she's given up. I gently asked her if she thought her career change in attitude could be related to a possible mental health issue or postpartum depression. But she didn't take that well. Well, no shit. Duh. I could have told you that was a dumb question. Are you getting mental problems because of our kid? Don't ask that question. I'm telling you, man, just a side note here, guys, just don't. If she brings it up, that's one thing, but don't go. Just leave. I mean, if there's a problem, if you see something going on, you might say, hey, let's go to the doctor. Maybe we can, but don't. I'm telling you, don't do that. I know sometimes when women have babies, the hormones change and things happen. I'm just saying, guys, you don't want to go down that road. I mean, unless it's an emergency, don't. She says she only cares about our daughter, and that's where all her energy needs to go right now. And if I loved her, I would let her do this. I do love my wife, and I'm not interested in divorce, except he brings it up. Just saying. But I'm seeing a whole new side of her that I just don't like or admire. What should I do? I'll tell you what you should do. You should let her stay home, take care of your kid. That's what you should do. Now, I want to give you a warning because the male chauvinist side is about to come out of me. Look, people, Slate magazine, some of the other commentaries. Let me read some of the commentaries here. This is on Twitter. I shared this whole Twitter thing on the whole feed. So you can get all the comments. You can read the article, the whole thing. It starts with Megyn Kelly right here. That's so look it up with that. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. This chick right here, Jill here, she says, this is good advice. But man, I feel for this letter writer because it's exactly how I would feel if my spouse decided they wanted to stay home. Let me tell you something. If the man stays home, I would expect the wife to be upset. I mean, you're making me go to work? And we'll talk about, I told you the male chauvinist is coming out. I'm sorry. Here we go. My spouse decided they wanted to stay at home, be a stay-at-home parent. Also, it is really only her decision whether to quit working when she's then going to be entirely dependent on him. Listen to her tone and attitude. It's only her decision. I mean, she has the right to make decisions. She's a woman. We're liberated. But to be dependent on a man, never. Ugh. It's not the way it works. Not the way it works at all. And now I'm really going to get myself yelled at, but I think the issue of example setting for a kid is totally a fair one. What example are you setting when dad works for pay and mom does all the care work at home? Lots of reasons not to want to set example for a child. All the care work at home. Dad's getting paid and I'm not getting a paycheck and it's not fair and I'm a liberated woman. I'm sorry. I know it's coming out. I apologize. Some of you are going to hate me after this one, but this is really a bone to pick with me right now. This woman has a child. This woman created, with God's help and a little bit from the man, a human being. And the miracle of childbirth and the miracle of I don't know if she nursed the baby or put a bottle in his mouth. I don't know. But you got this little thing and you're going, wow. And she's like, this is the most important thing on the planet right now. My career is irrelevant compared to this. Yeah, we could buy nice things. We can live in nice places. We can go nice places and all this stuff. But really, what's more important than loving and squeezing and pouring my life into this little thing? That's what she's saying. And let me tell you something, father, dad, buddy. You should let your wife stay home and raise your child. Let me tell you. This is philosophy according to Mike. I didn't read it anywhere. I'm not a doctor. I didn't play one on television. I've never been to a psychology school. I've barely raised my own kids. But I firmly 100% believe that a child, little children, little ones you can pick up, those kind of child, need the mama more than they need the daddy. That's right, I said it. You know, you believe in evolution, right? Millions of years of evolution. And what was it? The daddy was the hunter-gatherer. He's the one that went to work. He's the one that brought in the food. And mama prepared it and took care of the kids. Only up in the last 50 years have we become liberated and smart and relieved of this. So now the woman can go to work too. And we take the kid and we throw it off at a babysitter somewhere and let the babysitter raise the kid. So that your morals, your standards, your lifestyle, your thoughts don't go into that child. No, the babysitters does. The school systems does. This right here is the most ridiculous thing I've ever. But you believe in evolution up until the last 50 years. It's always been that way since Adam and Eve. Oh, right, we don't believe in that. And it dang sure ain't Adam and Steve like that dude up above. Earlier in the comments. But now we're liberated. So we got to shovel our kid off at the daycare so the wife can finish her career and we can have 2 cars and a nicer house. And we can go to Europe and see Italy and Rome and all that stuff. But that ain't what life is about. Not when you got a little one. Every second you spend with that child is precious because you know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what happens. They grow up. They find wives and husbands. They get careers. They get shipped to Okinawa, Japan in the Air Force, and you don't get to see them and talk to them on Skype or whatever, YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is every once in a while. That's what happens. You spend all your life at work. You spend all your life working for somebody that when you die will replace you the next day. And your legacy is sitting at the daycare. This guy's comments just really irk me. I'm not interested in divorce. Yes, you are. You wouldn't have brought it up. You'll walk away. You'll walk away from your daughter and your wife because of things that you think you can't have. That's exactly what you just said. I'm looking at it to make sure I cover it all because there's so much in here. We need to give up our cars and cut away back on extras that make life more enjoyable. You know what makes life enjoyable? Let me tell you what makes life enjoyable. What makes life enjoyable is sitting there in the yard, watching your little grandchildren run around doing what children do. That's what makes life enjoyable. It doesn't, your things. Are you serious stuff? You know what happens to your cars? Let me tell you a story about cars. When I was in high school, this has been 1988, 89. There was this blonde chick, and I don't even know her name today. She was she was from the Richard side. She was on the other side of town than me, Anyways, she drove a Jag, a silver Jag convertible. Man, that car. Oh, was that not a beautiful car? I loved that car. I've dreamed about a silver. It was my favorite car. It was a car I always wanted. Then I got in the car business, and I got into the used car business, and I have my favorite salvage yard that I always go steal parts from, And I was in there one day, and there was an 89 silver Jag convertible. Flipped over on its side with forklift holes through it, getting ready to go in the crusher. And I looked at that and I thought, man, how many payments, how many oil changes, how many times did that thing get waxed and loved on? How many times did that guy that owned that car and made those payments drive down the road, look at me in my silver Jag convertible, or the gal, whatever the case may be? And here it is, flipped over on the side of the salvage yard, ready to go to the crusher and be turned into aluminum cans or something. It's just stuff. It means nothing. The only legacy you're going to live on this planet are the people who remember you, and the people that remember you are going to be your kids and your grandkids. And maybe that's probably it because your great-grandkids won't even know who you were. It's just stuff. This guy's so hung up on it. And then another thing that I want to talk about. He's all upset because the things he'll have to get rid of and the money that he won't be making. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for you socialist, communist sons of a bucks, this woman wouldn't have to go to work if she didn't want to. 50% of your income goes to paying taxes. If you had all them stupid taxes to pay, well, it doesn't only take 30% or so out of my check. Yeah, you're right. 30% for the federal government, the FICA and all that stuff. But then you got to pay state taxes. Then you got to pay local taxes, property taxes, gas taxes. Every time you go to the grocery store, you pay taxes. You pay taxes on your taxes. You pay taxes on your cell phone, your land phone, your internet. You pay taxes on your car insurance. You pay taxes on your tires. You pay taxes on your gas that comes into your house, your electricity. You pay taxes on everything. And then you tax the taxes on the taxes. I bet it's better than 50%. And then insurance on top of that, and they tax the insurance. You're probably living on 30% of your income. Eliminate all of that, and this woman wouldn't have to go to work, and they could still live in luxury. And she could raise her babies. She could pour her life into her babies. And not only that, dude, let me tell you something. As a man, as a male chauvinist pig, it is really enjoyable when you walk in the door and the woman you love has prepared you a meal of her own creation. Hello? Have you men out there testify to that? Oh, yes, but you should be home cooking too. Well, you know what? I do cook. I like to cook. So what? You should be doing dishes too. I do. I do laundry too. So what? I help out when I'm there, when I can, when it needs to be done. I do it. Whatever it is. You know what else I do? I mow the grass, and she never touches the mower. She doesn't even know how to start it. Got a real nice Gravely zero turn. Ooh, fun one. She's never even started the doggone thing. Very male chauvinist of me, isn't it? This is the most ridiculous thing that I've read in a long time. This jerk of a man. Grow up, be a man. Take the zipper from the back side of your pants and put it in the front. Go out, be a man. Let your woman be the mama that she needs to be. Raise those babies. She can go back to work. Once the child starts going to school, she can go back to work if she chooses, or she can stay, or whatever. Be the man. Be the provider. And if y'all don't like that, I don't care. That's who I am. Tired of this stuff. This is ridiculous. It's destroying our country. This is why we got pussy men out there drinking their lattes, laying around in their pajamas, waiting for the government to give them another check. Oh boy, we're going to get $1,400. Isn't that great? I could buy a new Xbox. Get a job. Learn a trade. Get your freaking hands dirty. I mean, I got scars and cuts and stuff on my hands because that's what I do. I was at the VA yesterday. That's why I had to do my show early. I was talking to the doctor. He was talking about, do you have insomnia? I said, no, not insomnia. I work hard all day. When I can't sleep the night before, you know what I do? I find the hardest, menialest, sweatiest, nastiest job that I need to get done, and I go do it. And then I wear myself completely out, and I fall asleep in my chair in the living room. That's how I go to sleep. We used to be the country of work ethic. It wasn't just, he's talking about how this woman's lost her ambition. No, she hasn't. Her ambition's just shifted. She wants to raise up good children. She wants to, I bet you everything in her house will be perfect. I bet you she'll manage that place with all the ambition and passion that she put into her work life, she'll put into her own life. It's not an easy job. It's not, she doesn't go to work. She just sits at home, eats bonbons and watches Oprah. That's not, no, that's not what if she's an impassionate, golly gee willikers, ambitious woman who has a great work ethic, that ain't going to stop. It's going to continue. It's going to continue in the life of that child. It's going to continue in your life. It's going to be a blessing to both of y'all. Yeah, she might not be getting a check for it, but by golly, she's getting paid. I'll tell you right now, the blessings will be much greater than any monetary sum. You can always make money. There's always ways to make money. Get off your lazy, no good, educated rear end and go pick up something else to do. I mean, you can make money talking on freaking Facebook with a stupid Chinese flag behind you. I haven't yet, but one day I might. I mean, there's bazillion. We live in the greatest time in the history of the world right now. Right now, people are watching me on the stupid Facebook or the YouTube on the other side of the freaking planet. Never in the history of the world could we do that. And you're going to sit around and gripe because your wife wants to raise her child? Man, what kind of piece of crap are you? Anyways, I'm sorry. Boy, that gets on my nerves. This is what Megyn Kelly said. This is idiotically, disgustingly judgmental. Absolutely. Stay-at-home moms are setting a great example, just like moms working outside the home, as long as they're loving and engaged. The sanctimonious guilt trip is a sexist bullshit. Whether it's from a man or a woman. Ladies, don't listen to this moron. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I don't always agree with Megyn Kelly, but when someone's right, they're right. Look, if you're a woman and you want to go to work, go to work. It's America. If you're a woman and you want to raise your children, raise your children. And look, if the woman's got a great job and the dad wants to raise children, okay. I'm just not one that could possibly do that. And it's not, I'm sorry, I'm a male chauvinist. I believe it's my job to take care of my family. You don't like it. My table isn't as strong as it used to be. Every time I tap it, it shakes like that. I probably ought to. We used to do this on my desk in my office, which was solid oak, and now I'm on a little collapsible table. I probably ought to think about that as I'm tapping. Anyways, moving on. Whew. So to cleanse your palate, one last thing. I think it's time to circle back again. Wouldn't it be great? I can't wait to see it happen. I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I don't know. I know God's in control. I know that something great's about to happen. I feel it in my bones. Since Christmas, I felt the same feeling, the same. I just misjudged the timeline, I believe. There's lots of weird stuff going on right now. Lots of stuff I can't talk about. I've been told something here, but I can't talk about it. I wish I could. Duck on it. Did you know? Nah, can't say it. Sorry. There's just things, little signs saying this isn't a normal presidency. This isn't a normal government. Things aren't right. Just little things. And I think it's time to circle back. I think it was today he's supposed to be doing it as not Trump, but the faux Joe. It's supposed to be giving his joint session Congress speech. That ought to be entertaining, huh? You think he'll have a 4-word sentence, or will it just be 3 words or less? Do you think he'll say anything of substance, or just a bunch of platitudes? What do you think? I think by the end of this speech, most people in America would be missing this guy who's able to sit there and give a 2-hour speech off a cuff and keep you entertained while doing it. You may not agree with him, but he is a whole lot more entertaining than the guy that's there now. So I'm going to jump off here. You guys have a great day. Go about your day. Looks like it's going to be beautiful. Maybe a little rainy, but beautiful here in Central Missouri. I love this time of year. Absolutely joy in the spring. Summer will be hot. July, oh July. I don't know what that means. There is a difference between these United States and the United States. Please share this video. Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. If you have to go, when you're done watching me right now, if you have to go to my Facebook page, find a video and share it from there, because they don't got a share button on there because they're trying to meet me. Please do that. Please. It's the only way it gets around. If you're on the YouTubes, share it from YouTubes. Later in the day, when it finally gets loaded up on Rumble, because my internet's so slow, they're supposed to fix it tomorrow. I'm going to call them as soon as I get off the phone here. Go on over to Rumble and share it from there. I do appreciate all that you're doing. Check out my Telegraph. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. It's growing tremendously. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. I will catch you all later. Enjoy.